Welcome to the Wealth Nation podcast, a podcast for every mother, daughter, grandmother, sister, and wife, and the men who are smart enough to tune in. The Wealth Nation podcast brings you all you need to know about investments, business, property investments, personal finance, and all-around financial wellness. Here is your host, Yolanda Rose.
Thanks for joining me off the Wealth Nation podcast. I am Yolanda. I am a financial advisor, and this is my goal on this platform to give you easy, actionable tips, content, and strategies that you can use to manage your money well and to build generational wealth. The Wealth Nation podcast is sponsored by Audible. Audible is a seller and producer of spoken audio entertainment, information, and educational programming on the internet. Audible sells digital audiobooks, radio and TV programs, and audio versions of magazines and newspapers. For a 30-day free trial of Audible, go to www.financiallyfabulousfemales.com/audible. And we're talking about moms and money, and I hope you have something nice planned for your mom this weekend. Make it a Mother's Weekend. I've declared it Mother's Month in my home. I've got 3 kids, so I'm allowed to do that. So whatever it is, do something special for your mom this weekend. So moms and money, that's what we're talking about today. And we're specifically looking at how we can protect ourselves financially as women and as mothers. And as you know, there is definitely an income gap in our country. And that income gap stems from everything, from race, from a social class, but a lot of the times that income gap stems from the gender bias that is known in our community. And the goal of today's little session, I'm not going to be too long. I want to show you why you need to be prioritizing your financial planning as a woman. And if you're a single woman, these issues are going to hit you even harder. So I hope by the end of my little talk today that you are spurred on to take a more hands-on approach when it comes to planning for your financial health. So one of the main reasons why you need to be planning financially as a woman, as a mother, is because we're still living in a very patriarchal society in South Africa. We see it every day with gender-based violence. And I sit with women, with clients, I sit with men, sit with couples, and we talk money, we talk finance, we talk estate planning, wills, and all of that. And men are still in charge. A lot of the times, men are still in charge. If the guy says no, it's no. And I find, in my opinion, that a lot of the times married women under 40 are still not adequately protected because they look to their partners for approval when it comes to projection. And the thing is, we need to realize when both partners in the household are adequately protected in terms of life cover, in terms of dreaded disease, retirement planning, income protection. If everybody's protected equally, it's the more household that's going to be strengthened if and when something happens. Now, we know it's going to happen. We just don't know when. We just don't know where. And I find personally that women in their 40s, a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more life experience behind them, they do what is necessary to protect themselves. But unfortunately, I just find that women under 40, they're just not adequately prepared. And if you are one of those women, look at where you're at. If your income had to be stopped right now, what are you going to do? Maybe you're supporting family. And if your income had to be stopped, okay, if your husband is going to support you, great. But if you are looking after parents, you're paying medical aid for parents, paying some bills, is he willing to do that for your family and those dependents that you have? So that's one of the main reasons why I think younger women, newly married, newlyweds, need to pay more attention to their financial planning.
Raising financially savvy children involves teaching them a variety of skills, from budgeting to planning to earning and saving. Besides giving them an understanding of the value of a rand, it prepares them for real-world finances. Financial literacy is a vital skill, and it is never too early to teach your kids about money. Many parents wonder how they can teach their kids about money and where to find age-appropriate resources. You can now purchase the Financial Literacy for Kids workbook, which is aimed at primary school kids. It's now available at www.financiallyfabulousfemales.com. This workbook provides you with 12 lessons, activities, lesson plans, discussion points, and quizzes that you can use to test your kids' knowledge. Shop now at www.financiallyfabulousfemales.com.
So I want to share something with you. This is something that I actually had in my thesis a couple of years ago. All right, so what we see there is a graph that I found from Statistics South Africa, and this is another reason why mothers need to be planning for their finances. So what you see there is a graph for the pay gap in South Africa. And you can see on this graph over here on the extreme left, the pay gap between men and women with just primary education or no education at all. Men are earning almost double. With men and women with just primary education, again, it's almost double for the men. And as the education level increases, I mean, the gap does narrow. And we see folks with just a high school education. You can see that the statistics is for the pay disparity between 2011 and 2015. And look at high school education, also a huge gap. But surprisingly, those with tertiary education, look at this gap. This gap is actually women on average earning just over 63% less. Oh, well, only earning 63% of their male counterparts. And that is a huge amount of money. So what that actually means is, as women, we're earning less. We got to be paying more closer attention to our finances than men. But because we are statistically, we're earning less, we have access to less funding. Because if we look at our debt to income ratio, we're earning less. We obviously, even if we have perfect credit scores and perfect financial health, we won't get access to much funding in terms of business, in terms of property, as men that are educationally on the same level as us. I know it's not fair, right? But this is one of the reasons why we need to be paying a closer attention to our money, because of the money that we get paid is just not enough for us to compete on that level. Also, look at the career gap. As women that choose to bear children, this impacts your income. Sometimes if you're working for a company that's not child-friendly or maternity-friendly, you get your couple of months paid maternity leave. But if you want some time extra, if you're having a difficult pregnancy, you want to spend a little bit more time at home with your newborn, you're forced to take unpaid maternity leave at times. Massive blow to your income. What happens to your bills? Your bills don't stop, right? The bills just go up. You just have a newborn at home. You're forced to take this unpaid maternity leave. In some cases, if you want to take a few years off to raise your kids, you're not able to do that. And that's the cost of childbearing. It's not like we can pass it off to somebody else. And even if you do take a few years off work, entering back into the workforce after a little bit of a break is a difficult thing. Right? So that's another thing that we have to consider. Women that are still childbearing, why we need to have to pay closer attention to our financial planning, because we've got to prepare for this. Our bills don't stop. The medical bills don't stop. You still have to pay for petrol. You still got to eat. Your other kids still have to eat. So you got to factor all of this in when it comes to your financial planning. And lastly, the last thing that hopefully spurs you on to get in gear when it comes to your financial planning is longevity. Statistically, we outlive men. We live a couple of years more than men, and which means we got to plan for additional years of retirement that men don't have to plan for. Well, we know that some of them live longer than us, yes, but are we talking about averages here? Okay, and on average, we live longer. We've got more years to plan for, and obviously, the older you live, the more compromised your health is. You're spending more on healthcare. You need help in the home, and all of those we need to factor in. So when it comes to retirement planning as well, we need a different playbook when it comes to men. So these 4 points, I hope that it gives you an idea, or I hope it scares you into planning for yourself financially, for you to get adequate protection in terms of your income, in terms of disability, dreaded disease, to get your will in order. Our bodies are different to men. We have different health issues that we have to factor in as well. And we got to plan for that. And especially for retirement, you need to be saving a lot more than a man. And you have a bigger load to carry. And all these things that I've spoke of, it's even more harder for single women who don't have that partner bringing in that additional income into the home. So if you need help with your financial planning, reach out. If you already don't have a financial advisor to help you out, inbox me or leave your comments down below, an email address or something like that. I can email you and we can chat. We can do a Zoom call and I can try and help you get things together. All right. So you guys have a fantastic Mother's Day. I hope you plan something nice for your moms. And I hope if you're a mom, your household is planning something nice for you as well.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to visit our website at www.financiallyfabulousfemales.com and sign up for our free investment masterclass.